Ready for the best in Sooner football recruiting news? Then it's time to get locked in with Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Whether you're a recruiting doomer or sunshine pumper, text the guys on the First Liberty Bank text line at 405-651-3439. And call your shot on the Riverwind Casino jackpot line at 405-329-9000.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Parker Thune and Grayson Singleton.
Oh, here we go. Launching into a Thursday here on Locked In. Parker Thune, Grayson Singleton, hanging with you in the Buffalo Wild Wings studios. A lot of onion burger discourse is already happening on the First Liberty Bank text line, which I love to see.
I still have never tried an onion burger before.
Man, you've lived here for how long?
In this part of Oklahoma or just Oklahoma in general?
Oklahoma in general.
6 years.
Come on now, brother. We got to get you. You know what? What are you doing when we get off air?
I have an interview with SMU's Director of Acquisition Personnel.
When?
3:30.
Yeah, it's not quite enough time to run over to Tucker's.
Hey, I will say,
was.
look, I'm about to have, starting Saturday and going through the middle of July, I'm about to have a ton of free time on my hands because the lady's going to be in Europe for 3 weeks. So,
oh, hello.
Yeah, so.
Man, she's traveling the world.
She likes to travel. I will say that. But, yeah, no, she'll be over there. So we can go run and get some onion burgers at some point.
Needs to happen.
Yeah.
You know, Tucker's is right up there off of I-35 in Robinson, that little shopping center.
Yeah.
That's the Norman location. Let me tell you, man, you have a Tucker's onion burger, you're going to ask yourself, what took me so long? What took me so long to have my initial Oklahoma onion burger experience?
Is an onion burger, is that just like they put like a whole round onion in the meat? Like, how do we do this?
Okay, so here's how it happens. It's a smash burger is what it is.
Okay, got it.
And they have onions that they smash into the patty. And so you have onions that are like cooked in with the beef.
Yeah, oh, so it's just like diced onions that are.
I mean, I don't know that I would call them diced onions. They're like, they're not like finely chopped onions. You know, they're like onion strings. If you will.
The string. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so they're like, you know, it's kind of like having grilled onions melded into your burger patty. But it's delicious.
Okay, all right.
You can't go wrong with an Oklahoma onion burger, least of all at Tucker's.
I'm down to try it.
And by the way, if anybody that works for or with the people of Tucker's Onion Burgers is listening to this show right now, please have them hit me up because I've been giving them free advertising for years. And wouldn't mind if we wanted to strike a deal with them. Connor has just evacuated y'all's office because there is a very large insect in there.
Huh?
That's kind of wild. I looked over to my left.
What?
And I was like, holy smokes, that is an enormous bug.
What is
flying
it?
I can't
is
even
it a
tell,
wasp?
man.
Like,
No,
what
it's
is in my
something-
office?
It's something freaky looking. Like cicada killer. I don't know, man. Now, he brought Mark in. Mark, of course, is the Eagle Scout. He's probably going to know exactly what that sucker is.
What the hell?
Yeah, giant bug flying around your office. So just have your head on a swivel later when you're doing your interview.
Oh, no, I'm going home for that.
Oh, okay. So you're like out.
Yeah,
once we wrap up.
I got my podcast set up in my living room.
Okay, so you won't have to worry about the presence of an enormous, terrifying insect in the office.
Is it actually terrifying?
It looks pretty terrifying. Yeah, if I were to categorize that insect that is currently flying around the office, I would characterize it as terrifying. I don't know if it stings. I don't know if it bites. I don't know if it has venom. I don't know if it's completely harmless.
But it does something.
But it's freaky looking. I'll tell you that much. It is freaky looking. Puerto Rican Sooner says, Parker, headed to Omaha Friday evening. What are some Nebraska staples that I have to try? Hey, I'm headed to Omaha Friday evening as well. We'll be on the road at the same time.
Oh, are you going
Puerto
up there
Rican
too?
Sooner. I'm going up there, baby.
Okay.
I will be there no matter what, as the meme says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will be there on Saturday. I will be there on Sunday. If there is a game to be played on Monday, I will be there as well. And you know what? I'm going to be sitting out in the outfield, just like the good old days.
You're an outfield
Probably.
guy?
Well, so you got to understand that when I was growing up, because I'm from the great city of Omaha, this is no longer the case, but it used to be the case that you could go into a grocery store up there, the Hy-Vee grocery store chain, and you could get a booklet of 10 general admission CWS tickets for like $80, $90.
Really?
And they would get you into any game. And, I think if every single game at the CWS gets played, which obviously it won't this year because there was no if necessary game on either side of the bracket, so you're already down 2 games there. I think if every single game gets played in the CWS, there are only 13 games. And so you can basically go to the entire CWS, or could, with one of those booklets. And so we would each go buy a booklet, me and my high school baseball teammates, and we'd go sit GA in the outfield. Now, GA no longer exists. Everything is reserved seating.
Sure.
And you can't get those booklets anymore because Ticketmaster runs the world. But those were the good old days, man. I remember watching Coastal Carolina take home the title in 2016 over Arizona. Those are good memories. The 21 Pilots song Ride is the song that I always associate with the CWS because it was like the song.
Wasn't that the song that one year?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Brian and Bigsby says, you were shooting low, Parker, trying to get in that Section 15 suite. No, man, the outfield life is for me, at least when it comes to Charles Schwab Field. I haven't sat in the outfield for a game at Schwab in years and years and years. I'm excited to relive the glory days and to hopefully watch the Sooners take home a title. I will say, though, and holy smokes, Puerto Rican Sooner says I'll be heading out at 9 p.m., won't get there until 4 a.m.
Damn.
That is next-level devotion, sir. I respect the heck out of that. If you want to know where you got to stop in Omaha, it depends on what you're looking for. So like I said earlier, you just want to spend $12 on a really good meal, you go to Pepper Jack's Grill. Get a Philly cheesesteak. They cook it with a patented method. It is exceptional and pretty cheap. All things considered, pretty affordable.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to spend a little bit more, there are a variety of good, solid restaurants in Omaha that you can hit, especially downtown. You can't really find a bad steak in the great state of Nebraska with all the beef that they have. If you're in the mood for dessert, Coneflower Creamery in the Blackstone District is maybe 2.5, 3 miles from the stadium. Exceptional ice cream, some really, really unique flavors. Man, I could go on and on. I don't want to get this show sidetracked, but you and I can talk more, Puerto Rican Sooner. We certainly will. He said, I got to wait for the girlfriend to get home from work. Trust me, it's not by choice.
Oof. That was the question I had that I didn't say. I was like, why are you leaving that late?
Yeah. Now, I will say.
Understood.
If you, and I should add this, if you are driving up to Nebraska for the first time, if you have never made the trek to Omaha for the College World Series, you have never made that particular trip, drive cautiously in the state of Kansas because those state troopers
oh my goodness,
are merciless. Absolutely merciless.
So I've heard.
You got to set your cruise control at like 3 over the speed limit and just be content to take your time getting through Kansas because otherwise you will get run down by a Kansas state trooper.
I will say the roads in Kansas are pristine, though.
Certainly better than they are in Oklahoma.
Well,
yes.
That's not really a high bar.
Certainly better than they are in Oklahoma. Hey, the show is brought to you today by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno, family-owned and operated. Out there in El Reno, the home of the Onion Burger, I am told. So, hey, if you need another reason to head out to El Reno beyond the Onion Burgers, well, Dorsey Jones offers a line of GMC vehicles that are among the most reliable trucks and SUVs on the road today, and they're going to offer you exceptional service before, during, and after the buying process. Many of their employees have been with the company for 20-plus years, experienced, passionate people out there at Dorsey Jones. Go check them out and get you an Onion Burger on the way. The First Liberty Bank text line is 405-651-3439. This wasn't where I intended to start the show, but you know what? OU baseball is hot. OU baseball is going to be playing for a national title this weekend. So many of you are making the trip up to Omaha. Baseball is the topic of conversation on the text line. Baseball and onion burgers, apparently. We can roll with this. I don't mind that at all. Glenn from Nashville said, Parker, my son was on a travel baseball team that went to Omaha for a tournament that coincided with the College World Series. During that tournament, we played a team that was comprised mostly of Omaha Central kids. We beat them fairly soundly, and I told one of the dads from my son's team that I was surprised at how easily we beat them. He looked at me and said, yeah, but throw a football out there and see what happens. Truer words were probably never spoken. Yeah, I played in many of those College World Series tournaments growing up as well. Let me tell you, though, like all those big public high schools in downtown Omaha and like in the eastern region of the city, none of them were very good at baseball. They were all outstanding on the football field. But they all kind of sucked at baseball. Like we never had, and I played at a Class C1 high school in Omaha. We never had much trouble dispatching Omaha Central or Omaha North, Omaha Benson. All those schools that were Class A, they sucked at baseball. Matter of fact, I'll never forget this. Benson had a girl playing second base on their varsity baseball team for multiple years. They were terrible. I don't think we ever failed to run rule those guys.
Okay, I guess that answers my next question, which was she good?
Not especially.
So she wasn't Monet Davis.
She was a far cry from Monet Davis.
Gotcha.
Chris from Knoxville says, flights to Omaha from Knoxville are not pocket-friendly pain. Yeah, I will say if you're going to fly into Omaha, it's generally not cheap. Omaha has one of the smallest airports I've seen over the years. I've been in some tiny ones. The tiniest airport I've ever been to was probably the airport in Cheyenne, Wyoming, which is literally one hangar. But Omaha has like 6, maybe 8. And so, yeah, those flights can get a little steep. But, hey, you might try just flying into Kansas City to see what the price looks like on that, Chris, because Omaha to Kansas City is less than 3 hours. So it's still a little bit of a trek on the road, but especially if you can get a direct to Kansas City, you're not costing yourself much time, if any, by just grabbing a rental car and driving the rest of the way up to Omaha.
See, that would be the way I would go because I don't know about you, but road trips that are longer than 6 hours are not my thing. So I would fly from here to Omaha.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like being in a car that long.
6 hours?
No, I'm serious. Like,
I mean,
I don't like being in cars that long.
What's the longest road trip you've ever taken?
We drove from our house in Northeast DFW to Las Cruces, New Mexico.
That's a long haul.
That was about 10 and a half, 11 hours.
Yeah, that's a long, long haul.
Yeah, that was not fun. But, I mean, we used to make the trip from DFW to Springfield, Missouri, and that was about 7.5, 8 hours. But that was when I was a kid, though.
Yeah, I guess it's a little bit easier to handle when you're a kid and you don't actually have to keep eyes on the road. You don't have to worry about doing any of the driving.
Yeah.
You can just kind of chill. Like when we did road trips when we were younger, we had a big old Suburban with a DVD player installed.
Yeah,
and so
yeah.
we just watched The Muppet Show while we rode trips.
Were you a big fan of the Muppets, too?
Who isn't a big fan
Okay,
of the Muppets?
I'm just
Like,
making-
if you're
I'm
not
just
a big
making
fan
sure.
of the Muppets, you're just lying.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Yeah.
Here's what we need in society today.
Okay.
And you didn't ask for my take on society, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. What we need more of in society is not live-action remakes of old Disney movies. We need more Muppet interpretations of great movies.
Come on now.
Why did we go away from that? What pivot happened where we lost touch with turning all of the great movies into Muppet adaptations? I think about you. You ever watch Muppet Treasure Island?
Hell yeah.
Absolute banger, man.
Goes crazy.
Billy Connolly jokes to this day that he's the only man ever to die in a Muppets movie. The Muppets are fire.
Yeah, aren't they making that, like, live-action Moana movie? I'm just like, why are you doing this?
No, listen, I will not watch a live-action Moana. If you told me there was a Muppets Moana playing in a theater near me,
I'd be intrigued.
I'm there. I am purchasing that ticket. No questions asked. Christy said, I'm with Grayson. From OKC to Dallas is about my max, or I'm flying. Okay, that's 2.5 hours, Christy.
That's an easy drive. that's an easy 2.5.
General Police Lieutenant said, Parker about to have Grayson speaking in tongues with these Muppets takes.
speaking in tongues. It's crazy.
CJ Sooner in Florida says, what in the hell are y'all rambling about? Certainly not OU football recruiting, CJ Sooner. I apologize that we spent the entire first segment of the show off topic. We'll try to dial in on the other side. But, hey, you know what?
Do we got to lock in?
Listen, we get to do what we want on this show. We get to do what y'all want. That's more we care about. You know what people want to talk about right now on the text line? Onion burgers and the College World Series. And the Muppets.
Jeff from OKC says, preach, Parker, Muppet remakes would kill.
Amen. See, we gotta get a movement started. Social media is a powerful thing. We got to leverage it to our advantage to get more Muppet adaptations of classic movies on the docket. This is what the folks out in Hollywood should be focused on. Not trying to deploy AI to make animation easier. Not taking shortcuts, not worrying about let's make a toy like who wants to see Toy Story 5? I'm sorry, but at a certain point, I'm just tapped out on a franchise.
They gotta stop making Toy Story movies, and they gotta stop with all these damn Despicable Me movies too.
Amen, amen, and amen. And you know what? Take all that time, take all that effort, take all that money, make me a Muppets Moneyball. And I am in that theater immediately. $100 million minimum opening week in the box office. Calling it now. No Star Bryce from Norman. Die Hard with Muppets would be must-see. You're dang straight. Ocean's 11, Muppets edition.
We're gonna have Kermit the Frog robbing some people.
Yeah, we are. Kermit the Frog's probably not the best Muppet for that. Who would be the best Muppet to play George Clooney's character? We'll workshop that in the break. Hit us up on the First Liberty Bank text line, 405-651-3439. We will talk recruiting. I promise. Oklahoma's going down to the wire with a couple of Big Ten opponents for a couple of blue-chip recruits. We'll dig into those situations on the other side and field whatever nonsense may arise on the First Liberty Bank text line. Keep it right here on the Ref, the home of Sooner fans.
Locked In is brought to you every day by Dorsey Jones GMC in El Reno. Dorsey Jones GMC is family-owned and operated with a knowledgeable, low-pressure sales staff here to help you through the buying process and half-price oil changes on Saturdays. Visit dorsey-jonesgmc.com for more information.
Hey, this is Josh Elmer, inviting you to join us for the Gimme Zone, the best live golf show in Oklahoma. This Saturday, Brian Vineyard and I, we're coming to you live from Land Run Links and More, Oklahoma's most realistic indoor simulator. We'll be talking about the third major of the year, the U.S. Open, plus OU baseball at the College World Series, and plenty more from around the world of golf and sports. Listen live from 8 to 10 a.m. this Saturday with me, Josh Elmer, and Brian Vineyard on the Gimme Zone. And listen live on the KREF app, brought to you by Warren Cat.
Hi, this is Dylan Buckingham. As a parent of two boys who have faced life-threatening health challenges, our family knows when your child is sick, everything changes. Suddenly, nothing matters more than finding hope. For our family, that hope came through the care and support made possible by the Children's Health Foundation. They're advancing research, improving treatment, and standing beside families all across Oklahoma. Because every child deserves hope, healing, and a healthy future. Join us at chfkids.com.
Entrepreneurs and More Norman in South Oklahoma City have an experienced business partner in their neighborhood. More Norman Technology Center's workforce and economic development team understands the challenges entrepreneurs and small businesses face every day. From building an effective business model to hiring the right employees and managing cash flow, More Norman's business development experts can help you move forward confidently and thrive, knowing that you have a skilled partner at your side. Learn more about More Norman's Technology Center by calling 405-801-5000 or visit us online at mntc.edu.
For 3 generations, the John M. Ireland and Son Funeral Home and Chapel in Morris continued to serve the community by giving back to local schools, charitable organizations, and first responders.
We provide pre-planning for funerals and cremation services at the most reasonable prices.
We are proud to be a family-owned and operated funeral home.
Award-winning funeral home year after year, our family believes in serving the people of our community.
I'm John Ireland.
And I'm Solon Daniels.
You've got our word on it.
For over 30 years, CertaPro Painters has been part of countless memories. Every wall tells a story, and we've been proud to help write them. We are more than just your local painters, with care, craftsmanship, and certainty. From the first brushstroke to the final smile, our promise is simple. Your home, beautifully painted and worry-free. CertaPro Painters, that's painting happy. Get started today at CertaPro.com. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. Contractor license and registration information is available at CertaPro.com.
Hi, everybody. Toby Rowland here for one of my favorite places to golf, the Trails Golf Club in Norman. The Trails offers great golf activities for the entire family. Men's and Ladies Golf Association events, summer junior golf for the kids, plus club fittings throughout the year. The Trails also has great family social events, monthly special dinners, plus holiday brunches and catering. When you're looking for the perfect place to golf, check out the Trails Golf Club in Norman. Contact Zane Alexander today at 405-364-3790 or visit trailsgolf.com.
Spring is here, a season of color, growth, and new beginnings. At Markham's Nursery, we have everything you need to make your spring truly special. From beautiful trees and hardy shrubs to vibrant perennials bursting with color. We have a huge selection of fruits and vegetables, roses and soils, everything you need to get your spring on the move. Helping generations grow in Oklahoma for over 50 years. Come grow something beautiful this spring. Markham's Nursery, just add the sun.
Markham's Nursery, just add the sun.
Maybe it was a family vacation or a school field trip. But there you were, standing in awe at a national park. We are the National Park Foundation, and together with you, we're creating a future where every person, every generation, gets their chance at an unforgettable moment. Today, tomorrow, forever. Learn more at nationalparks.org/foundation.
All the evidence you need that the denizens of the First Liberty Bank text line are infinitely smarter than Hollywood is what's going on right now. All of these concepts are all flawless. Beach Bum Sooner says John Wick Muppets.
See, I like John Wick too much to have the Muppets do it.
What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, the John Wick movies are violent and kind of gory.
Yeah, huh?
What are we going to have, the Muppets slashing each other and just, a bunch of fluff come out?
That would be amazing. You're telling me you wouldn't love that? That would be hilarious.
No. No.
That's incredible. I'm in. I'll invest. General Boosh Lieutenant said Muppets Django Unchained would be wild.
Now, that would be something I would want to see.
Puerto Rican Sooner said Muppets Lord of the Rings would be crazy.
Could you imagine, speaking of movies along the lines of Django Unchained, a Muppets adaptation of The Help? And I feel like anybody who's seen that movie knows exactly where I'm going with that one.
It should be a requirement that if your movie makes a certain amount in the box office, like any movie that does well enough should automatically qualify for a Muppets readaptation. If your movie makes north of $750 million, I don't know. I don't know what the reasonable figure would be. But if your movie makes more than a certain amount of money, it automatically goes right back to Hollywood where they start on a Muppets remake.
Oh, gosh.
This would fix society.
OU Mitchell says, did we really need 9 Fast and Furious movies? Homeboy, I think there's 11.
Are they really?
Yeah, they've kind of gotten worse after number 8.
Brian and Bigsby said, good grief, 2 PKs coming up with movie ideas is just sad. Hey, you know what, Brian and Bigsby? You tell me you don't enjoy the Muppets? Because I know you're lying. You're going to sit here and tell me you would not watch Muppets Lord of the Rings? You're simply being dishonest.
I do like the Muppets movies. I know we can get off this topic, but I do like the Muppets movies where they're doing like these little plays and stuff and they have a celebrity in them. Yes. I do think those are the good ones, though. I do like those.
That's the Muppet Show, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they drop every now and then on Disney Plus or something like that.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
No, we used to have, like, seasons and seasons of The Muppet
No,
Show
I don't
on
think they
DVD.
do that anymore.
Yeah,
At
no,
least
they
from what I
definitely
know.
don't do it anymore. But, like, in the 70s, 80s, yeah, it was like a whole half-hour-long production where there would be a celebrity guest star.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
I'm trying
this.
to think how
Also,
many.
why did you say we used to have that as if you were alive back then?
No, we used to have it on DVD when I was a child.
Oh,
yes,
gotcha.
yes.
Oh.
Obviously, I was not. I was
you
not
left,
around
you,
then.
You left the
but-
DVD part out.
Yeah, no, we had
I got you.
seasons and seasons of the Muppet Show on DVD, and we would watch them on road trips. I'm trying to think of some of the guest stars that the Muppet Show had back in the day.
Past My Prime says Peak PK would be VeggieTales remakes. Yeah, I don't even like.
Yeah,
I didn't even like VeggieTales as a kid.
We're good on VeggieTales.
Yeah, no,
VeggieTales
I'm
has its
straight with
spot. VeggieTales has kind of carved out its niche. I wouldn't want VeggieTales remakes of every great movie. I would want Muppets remakes of every great movie.
VeggieTales is a sector of the PK world that I do not traffic in.
405-651-3439. That is the First Liberty Bank text line. Okay, let's get down to business here. Let's talk about Case Alexander, Grayson. Because we're all kind of waiting on a decision from the blue chip linebacker as to whether it's going to be Oklahoma or whether it's going to be Penn State. That decision should be coming soon. It shouldn't be too much longer before we know what that decision is. Now, obviously, if Oklahoma were to land Case Alexander, it's a revelrous occasion. There's going to be great rejoicing on social media, on the text line, on the message boards, everywhere. Because how often is it you see a kid that is within state lines that appears to be leaning to another school, despite having an offer from Oklahoma for the longest time, and then comes back around to the Sooners in the end? We haven't witnessed many processes quite like this one if it does go in Oklahoma's favor. So obviously, if the Sooners add Alexander to a linebacker class that already features Cooper Witten and Taven Epps, the vibes are through the roof. There's no question. What I want to know is, how are we going to react if Case Alexander chooses Penn State? This is what I'm curious about. Let's say he decides, you know what, I want to go up to Happy Valley and be a Nittany Lion. How do you kind of evaluate post-mortem how the Case Alexander recruitment unfolded, and what's kind of your overall emotion coming out of that process?
You left no stone unturned. You put forth your best effort, and the kid wanted to go play up there where his family's familiar and with his brother. And an institution that has a heavy linebacker lineage. To me, it would make a lot of sense. Now, this isn't one where Oklahoma got involved late and tried to stage a comeback in that way.
Yeah, they were maybe his second or third scholarship offer.
Like they've been in it for the longest. They've put forth all their effort pre and after the addition of Jim Nagy and the construction of the front office. And the dude just wanted to go play at Penn State of all places, which is, one of the, if not blue blood, one of the near blue bloods of college football. I know I probably am looking at this a little bit more tempered than some people will, but to me, it wouldn't be, oh my God, the sky is falling, or oh my gosh, the sky is falling. We didn't do everything that we could. They did what they could, and the kid just wanted to do something else. Like I don't think I would be throwing vitriol in the direction of Oklahoma and the staff if that were to happen.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the reaction is going to come from fans who think, okay, well, the Alexanders just don't like Oklahoma. And that's not really true. I mean, I think the reality of it is that both of these boys will have made decisions that they feel best suit them. And there's not, even though Steven played at Oklahoma, even though Dad Steven played at Oklahoma and played a decade in the NFL as a tight end after his time at Oklahoma came and passed, he wasn't somebody, never has been somebody that's going to exert undue influence on his sons to follow in his footsteps. And when Cooper was going through the process, he was kind of given the leeway and the support to do what he felt suited his career, his progression, his level of comfort most ideally. And for him, that was going to Iowa State. He had an offer from Oklahoma. Oklahoma entered the picture very, very late, though. I mean, like a month before he was supposed to start OVs. And so at that point, the Sooners had they had to make up so much ground in the Cooper Alexander recruitment that maybe that's an easy thing to do, or an easier thing to do, if you're dealing with a kid who has dreamed all his life of being a Sooner and he wants to pursue that dream at all costs. But the way that Cooper looked at it, I've known these coaches at Iowa State for a lot longer. I have that trust factor with them. They value me as a focal point of their 2024 recruiting class. And it was well known at the time, even though it wasn't official, that Oklahoma was going to get Devon Mitchell committed and Devon Mitchell was going to reclassify. And so he felt more valued, more needed at Iowa State than he did at Oklahoma. He chose to commit to Matt Campbell in Iowa State. That ended up opening a door for him 2 years later to follow them to Penn State, which is a school that historically does very well at the tight end position. So you understand why that was a pretty open and shut process for him when he made the decision to transfer after Campbell and his staff left Ames. For Case, man, when that Iowa State staff started to build the relationship with Cooper, they also started to build the relationship with Case. And at the time, everybody locally kind of knew. They didn't necessarily know that Case was going to be more highly regarded as a recruit than Cooper, but they knew that he was going to be a P4 dude. That was very easy to tell pretty early on in the process. Case Alexander is going to be somebody. This is somebody that's going to play high-level football, just like his brother. And so Iowa State was very intentional early in the process about making sure that they forged that bond with Case as well. And that's what's complicated this decision, too, is that it's all the same people, right? Matt Campbell, Taylor Mauser, everybody that was on that Iowa State staff in 2023, 22 and 23 when they were pursuing Cooper, all those same figures are still involved on the Penn State end of things. But for Oklahoma, and this is no knock on anyone in particular, it's just the reality of it, there's been some shuffling of the deck over the last couple years since Alexander got his OU offer back in, I believe, the spring of 2024. Brent Venables has been the constant, certainly, but at the time, the linebackers coach was Zach Alley. Zach Alley left. Oklahoma brought in Nate Dreiling. And I will say this, man. If Case Alexander chooses Oklahoma, cannot say enough about the work that Nate Dreiling did in this recruitment. Because you would think, right? You would think Case Alexander is primarily committing to Oklahoma because of the opportunity to be developed under Brent Venables. Obviously, that's a factor. I would argue the biggest factor and the most significant factor in OU's pursuit of Case to this point has been the work that Nate Dreiling has done. I mean, Nate Dreiling and the relationship that he has built with Alexander is what has given Oklahoma a shot here. It's the reason why this recruitment and this battle has dragged on as long as it has. Because that is the tightest relationship that Alexander has with anybody on staff at Oklahoma. It's that bond with Nate Dreiling. And so this is kind of the first, I would say the first recruitment where Dreiling himself has really gotten the chance to kind of strut his stuff. And what a victory it would be for him. What a statement it would be for him if he could keep a kid close to home, an in-state blue chipper that looked for all the world a few months ago, Grayson, as though he was going up to Happy Valley.
Yeah, and that's an angle of it that we haven't even brought up, is the Nate Dreiling part in all of this, your position coach. And one thing we consistently bring up on this show when it comes to these recruitments is the intimacy of those relationships, not with the player and the head coach or even the coordinator, but with the position coaches, the guys who are running that room when it comes to meeting time. So I think that's a very interesting point. Where do you think this ends up? And
is what you're asking, like where I think he commits?
Sure.
I genuinely don't know.
And neither does anybody else, huh?
The sum of the intel that I have collected would indicate that at least from where I stand, from all the people I've talked to, I think Oklahoma has the slightest of edges. But it's still a battle that could very much swing either direction.
What do you think wins out for either side?
Well, here's what's often the case in a given recruitment. A kid has to choose between the head and the heart. Some don't. You know, like Jackson Lawler, his heart is at Oklahoma, and his head, as somebody that plays interior offensive line, is telling him, yeah, go get developed by Bill Beedenbolt. That's an easy choice for a guy like that.
Yeah.
A lot of guys have to make the decision between where their head is leading them and where their heart is leading them. That is oftentimes the tug of war that is happening within. I don't think that's what it is with Case Alexander, because I think there is a piece of his heart that is with his brother and Matt Campbell's staff at Penn State, and there is a piece of his heart that is 15 minutes from home in Norman, America, with Brent Venables and Nate Dreiling.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes it so hard to gauge as to which decision he's going to make in the end, because he is going to have to make an agonizing call at some point to either the staff at Penn State or the staff at Oklahoma and let them know, hey, I really, really would love to come play for you, but I would also really, really love to go play for this other school, and I can't choose both, and I'm choosing the other one. That's a tough place to be. And that's what I think it comes down to. In Case's case, no pun intended. It's which half of his heart wins. The reason I give Oklahoma the slightest of edges right now is because of the geography factor. Case is the type of kid that is probably going to be an Oklahoma lifer whenever his football career wraps up. Like he is the type of kid that wants to put down roots in the state of Oklahoma and just kind of feels at home here. Can he set that aside for the next 4 years to go play college football in the state of Pennsylvania? Who knows, man? Answer could be yes. Answer could be no. What I can tell you right now is that nobody feels like they have any sort of certain sense of what he's going to do when push comes to shove. But the impression that everyone has behind the scenes is that this will be decided within the next week or two. He's not going to wait too long.
Yeah.
He's had enough time to think about his two options and evaluate the two options from every imaginable angle. I think he understands as well as anybody, it's about that time to just pick one and roll with it and not look back. 405-651-3439. That is the first Liberty Bank text line. We have one final segment to come. Here on The Ref, the home of Sooner fans, hit us up with your questions, comments, opinions. We'll tackle some of them on the other side when we return.
A true Sooner fan wouldn't be caught dead without the KREF app. Join the Army. Get the app. Tell your friends. This is The Ref, where diehard Sooner fans listen.
Juicy, fruity, and oh so boozy. The Welch's you know and love is now available as spirit-based beverages. Ready to bring the nostalgia and fun times to adulthood, these cocktails are full of flavor. Head to your local liquor store or ask for Welch's Craft Cocktails by name.
Beats and Bites is back for its 10th anniversary. Join us to celebrate a decade of delicious food, incredible live music, and unforgettable memories at Riverwind Casino.
Don't miss the fun with Flatland Cavalry, Saturday, July 11th.
I know I could find me a place
with Jason Boland and the Stragglers.
Sun is shining somewhere in Texas.
Book your tickets online or at the box office for only $10. And we'll see you at Riverwind.
The Norman Chamber of Commerce encourages you to shop, eat, and play local this summer. Get all your bases covered at Play It Again Sports with new and quality used gear. Buy, sell, or trade new and used sports equipment, including baseball, softball, football, tennis, soccer, and score your official NYSA and Oklahoma Celtic apparel at Play It Again Sports. Too tired to cook tonight? Skip the kitchen and order online with Thai Thai Asian Bistro. Enjoy a diverse, flavorful menu of authentic curries, chef specials, and fresh appetizers. Taste the tradition. Order online now at Tai Tai Asian Bistro. The historic Sooner Theater is a summer staple and a must-see downtown. See great local theater, concerts, or attend performing arts classes. Find upcoming events and tickets at SoonerTheater.org. Remember to shop, eat, and play this summer in Norman.
Are you, your family, or company looking for a locally owned and trusted management group? Carlsbad Management Group is an owner, developer, and manager of high-quality apartment communities in Oklahoma. They are a locally owned and operated management company for apartments and self-storage units. They are committed to providing exceptional apartment homes, customer service, and increasing the value of multi-family communities under our management. If you would like a free management quote today, call Carlsbad Management at 405-701-1411 and be part of the Carlsbad family.
The Ref is the home of Sooner Diamond Sports this spring. From Patty Squad in search of another natty.
Swings and hits it deep to center field. Are you kidding me? Sooner Magic in Oklahoma City.
And Skip Sooner's sight set on Omaha.
Back to the track, to the wall. Gone! It's off the scoreboard!
The Ref has you covered.
It's the Sooners in North Carolina for the national title this Saturday at 7 and Sunday at 1:30 right here on the Ref and worldwide on the KREF app.
Norman mornings start at Neighborhood Jam. Whether you're craving sweet or savory, classic pancakes or chorizo burritos, we've got breakfast covered. Open 6:30 to 2:30 daily. Join the wait list on Yelp before you arrive.
Neighborhood Jam on Main Street in Norman. Brunch that brings good vibes every time. Start your day with the Jam, your local breakfast destination. Tune in every Friday to hear more about the Hal Smith Restaurant Group during the Rush and the Dari Noka Show here on the Ref.
Are you looking to take strokes off your golf game this summer? Tyler McComb is here for Land Run Links, the best golf simulator in Oklahoma City. The Summer Swing Pass is here. For $129 a month, you get 1 hour a day to drill down your game. Work on wedges, irons, or play a full round on thousands of courses around the world, rain or shine. Or take advantage of the summer rates, just $35 an hour Monday through Friday until noon, or $60 Friday evenings through the weekend. Visit landrunlinks.com and book today.
Touchdown, Schooner time. Raise a can of Schooner All-American Ale brewed by Coop Ale Works, the official craft beer of OU Athletics. Join the 82,000 OU faithful cheering in the stadium no matter where you are, celebrating a Sooner win. Boomer!
Can you give us a live rendition of the Juicy, Fruity, and Oh So Boozy read?
No, I had my mic turned up too loud when I did that, when I cut that spot. I'm not going to do it.
You'll cave. Okay, maybe he won't. Patty and I had a good chuckle in here. It's the first I've heard that commercial.
This the first time you've heard that spot?
Yeah.
That spot's been running for like 3 months.
Really?
Yes.
Somehow I've never heard it.
Yeah, I cut that spot like back in like March, if not earlier.
It was fantastic. We cut immediately to commercial, and all you hear is the powerful voice of Grayson Singleton going,
and
Juicy, Fruity, and oh so boozy.
And that's the thing with my voice too is self-producing like myself is kind of hard because I can think I sound one way in my headphones, and that mic is too far up, and because of how my voice is, it can get pretty loud pretty quick.
Iconic stuff. Is thoroughly iconic.
Was that more iconic, or the fact that it was publicly disseminated of me saying, "Hey, pickle, pickle"?
Yeah, that's probably, I would say, in the time you've been here, the Hey Pickle Pickle spot is probably your most notable work as far as advertising goes.
I would say so.
Juicy, Fruity, and Oh So Boozy, that's on the Rushmore.
Sure.
That's definitely on the
Rushmore.
Granted,
that was a combination of 4 or 5 words that I never thought I would say in succession.
Almost sounds a little NSFW. Juicy, Fruity, and Oh So Boozy.
I mean, shoot. I could come. Well, no, I'm not.
Yeah,
Nope. Never mind.
Put it in reverse, Terry.
Back up, Terry.
A 405 listener says, sorry if you answered this before. Is Cody Campbell's son legit? Yeah, he's a pretty good player. I mean, he's going to be a Texas Tech Red Raider, though. Let's not kid ourselves. He was down he was camping at Miami apparently, and I saw a bunch of posts from Miami fans on Twitter like, "Hey, I mean, if the kid signs here and we can get all of Cody Campbell's money, I'll take it." You're not getting Cody Campbell's kid, and you're not getting Cody Campbell's money. Lubbock, Texas, and the Texas Tech Red Raiders are getting all of Cody Campbell's money and his kid.
And if at this point, do you even want to be in bed with Cody Campbell's money?
That's a whole different can of worms based on how the last 2 weeks have unfolded. That's for sure. Recruit of the day brought to you by Keystone Property Management. The guy I want to circle here is another player that Oklahoma is going toe-to-toe with a Big Ten foe to try and land, and that is four-star offensive tackle Corey Laga out of Lamont, Illinois. We'll dig into that recruitment in just a second, but first and foremost, thank you to the good folks of Keystone Property Management.
Yeah, and our buddy Drew England is a big part of Keystone Property Management. They've got the 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath townhomes up there in the North OKC Edmond area as well. They've got everything that you could possibly want, and your budget could want as well, because it's not going to wreck your wallet as well. So for more information, call them 405-368-1836 or visit them online at keystonepmok.com. It's a very functional website and will lead you to finding what you are looking for. So again, keystonepmok.com.
So Corey Laga, Grayson, here's where we stand with the talented offensive lineman from the upper Midwest, the state of Illinois. It's looking like it's coming down to Oklahoma and Michigan State. Those are the two that have kind of risen to the top in his process. Vanderbilt got him on campus for an OV over the weekend. Don't sense that there's a ton of traction there. And so Michigan State, Oklahoma, that kind of feels like what it is at this point for Laga. And certainly understand the pull to Michigan State. They've been after him for a lot longer than Oklahoma has. Pat Fitzgerald, their new head coach, who had tremendous success, all things considered, at Northwestern for darn near 2 decades. It ought to be understood. Pat Fitzgerald is no slappy. That was a good hire by Michigan State, and they're recruiting well since he took that job. So if he winds up going to Michigan State, my fear is that there are going to be fans that hit the text line or hit Twitter or hit the message board and say, how on earth did we lose a recruiting battle to Michigan State? Well, a few reasons. Number one, Pat Fitzgerald's good at his job. He's been able to change the culture, change the narrative already up there. And also, man, this is kind of what you have to expect when you offer a kid 3 weeks before OV's kickoff.
Exactly.
Like, you got to understand going into it, yeah, we're Oklahoma, we'll have a shot, but we can't operate with the expectation that this kid is just going to wind up in our class just because we're OU.
Yes, no, that you exactly hit the nail on the head. The real reason is because they got into this way, way late, and you're talking about making up ground in the relationship game. So, I mean, yes, people are going to be more annoyed. I would use that word, more annoyed that you lost a battle for a kid to Michigan State than you would, I would think, if you lost a kid to Penn State, because that's two different levels that we're playing on here. But just the fact that you were playing catch up like that, and the fact that they do have a competent head coach now, and also what is it with these Michigan teams that have had some very interesting head coaches in the recent years? Anyway, I digress. But the fact that they've got an adult in the room now who seems to be a culture shifter is a good thing for them, and could help them win a recruiting battle against OU.
Let's think here. Let's just take stock of what the board looks like for Oklahoma at this point. They have 25 commits.
Yes.
25 commits. There are a few positions where they're just very clearly done. Like, they're done at running back. They're obviously done at quarterback. They're done at cornerback. They're done at linebacker pending Case Alexander. Let's walk through the remaining targets here. Not necessarily in any particular order, but who are we still waiting on? We're still waiting on Case. We're still waiting on Corey Laga. Absolutely still waiting on Bodie Sparrow and Uhila Wolfgram, the two talented young defenders from the state of Utah. I don't think Oklahoma's done at receiver, but they're not actively pursuing anybody right now at that spot. They may not be done at tight end, but they also may choose to just proceed with Seneca Driver. That's kind of a wait-and-see type of deal. Wide receiver and tight end are the two positions where I would say Oklahoma may not be done, but there's nothing as of right now that kind of hangs in the balance actively at either of those two positions. Jaden Fields, a safety target they had on campus this past weekend, will take his final OV to TCU this upcoming weekend, and then we'll see where that lands. There's one other target that I think gets forgotten, though. Oklahoma had him on campus May 29th through the 31st. And it's been just kind of a quiet process on this kid's end anyway. And so it's not all that shocking that his name has kind of vanished from the headlines for the last couple of weeks. I'm referring to Josh Christensen, the 3-star defensive lineman from the state of Oregon. And the impression that I've gotten about that recruitment, Grayson, is that he's going to take all his visits, he's going to take his time, he's going to make a highly informed decision with all of the variables at play before he rushes into anything and consider all angles before he arrives at his verbal commitment. But the sense from the OU side is that they did enough when he was on campus May 29th through the 31st to be a strong consideration for Christensen when he's navigating those final conversations with his parents and his circle and figuring out what comes next. That would be quite a boost to Oklahoma's defensive line class if they were able to land Christensen. Because I think that this is the type of kid that has the potential to be a real stock riser in the fall. And you look at his rating. He's a modest 3-star guy, but the offer sheet is pretty dang impressive. The measurables are impressive at 6'6", 255. Oklahoma wants this kid badly. Do they need him? I don't know that I would go that far. They're in a position where on the defensive line, they have enough critical mass and the possibility of adding a guy like Wolfgram to a group that already includes Crew Jones and Samuel Nelson at defensive end, and then Devin Robertson, Elijah Harmon, and Sione Falila at defensive tackle, that if you don't land him, all is not lost. But what a dimension he would add to this class, and what a nice little pickup this would be for Oklahoma after, similarly, they did not get involved with him until very, very late in the process and went to an area in the state of Oregon that historically they have not spent a ton of time recruiting.
No, it's a good point, and I think you would be looking at him through a position of luxury with a guy like Josh Christensen, a guy that you maybe can stash a little bit and develop in the darkness and see what he comes out to be with the two edge guys that you have right now committed, Jones and Nelson, and then we'll see what happens with Uhila. But I think for him, or for the team rather, he is not a necessity. This isn't something you're looking at and saying, "Oh my goodness, we need another defensive end." Like, no, you don't. But it'd be fun. And I'm all for making sure that you have the requisite numbers. They took a very good edge class last year. So right now, and this has been a prevailing theme with this recruiting cycle, they're operating out of a place of abundance. Not really necessity. Not scrounging around looking for things so that they can make the class work. No, like, you're in a good position here, and when you're operating from that good position, this is what it lets fans know. These are good players. Not just guys that we're being desperate for. No, this is a guy we actually want to have, and if we don't get him, fine, we're cool.
And Christensen is set to take his final official visit this weekend. It is a trip to Cal. So the Golden Bears will get the final crack at the Lake Oswego, Oregon native. Oklahoma, heavily in the mix. Oregon, also heavily in the mix. A few other contenders kind of hanging out on the periphery there. But I think this is a battle that, if I had to guess, it probably comes down to OU, Oregon, and Cal. Just Cal, man, kind of similar to the conversation we had about Michigan State. One guy that has really succeeded in gaining a ton of early traction out at his program, and it's kind of been overshadowed by what Bob Chesney is doing at UCLA, but Tosh Lupoi at Cal has had some real success on the trail thus far this year.
Yeah, he has.
And so, in years past, you'd probably look at Cal in a recruiting battle against OU and Oregon, and you'd think, okay, what are the odds? But they got decent odds. And as we discussed yesterday, I mean, they're in the mix for Wolfgram as well.
What did you think of Daniel Yebbitt committing to TCU?
I like that for him. Think it makes a lot more sense than Minnesota. And
he's also TCU's highest rated commit right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, top 150 player in the country, Daniel Yebbitt. And he's one of those guys that, for whatever reason, in the state of Oklahoma, just isn't as widely known as some of his counterparts in the 2027 cycle locally. But he's a dang good player, and he's also a player, as we have discussed ad nauseum, should Oklahoma make a push to flip him at whatever position come the fall, I think they'll have an excellent chance to do so, because I think staying close to home matters a lot to that kid, and I think that's also part of the reason he would choose TCU over Minnesota. TCU's a nice, easy 2.5-hour drive down the road.
Yeah.
Minnesota's a long way away.
I was also unaware that UCLA has 10 4-stars committed right now.
They have a very good class.
That's a hell of a class.
A very good class. I mean, I know Bob Chesney right now has a lot more financial backing than those donors were ever willing to invest into Chip Kelly or Deshaun Foster. But, man, Chip Kelly and Deshaun Foster have to be green with envy looking at what Chesney's doing recruiting-wise for the Bruins. All right, folks, we have one more show left in the week. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, for the Friday installment of Locked In. For Grayson Singleton, I am Parker Thune. Keep it here. The Rush is next.